Hi there. So, welcome back. This is Carla's Creations. No, it's not Carla's Creations. Um, this is Gaia Energy Reports that I do, and if I didn't say it already, my name is Carla. Some people call me Sham. Um, my masculine used to call me Sham, and I just don't care for it anymore. Really, some people still call me Sham. I still like my angel name. It's just that it's been used in negative fashion too many times. I'm probably even going to just do away with it. Um, so this is my new channel with no likes, no subscribes. Um, Hopefully soon that changes. People are hearing my messages on Facebook, but they're not finishing listening. They're too busy. It's kind of like a crazy time to pop out with a channel with all the energies and all the hustle and bustle all the time. But the angels guided me to go ahead and start the channel, and everything's pretty guided. So don't be alarmed by the fact that there are no likes. I'm not. I am a little disappointed a few of my friends haven't subscribed. But they'll get around to it if they like the messages. And I like the messages. I find them to be very soothing, comforting, and a lot of other people seem to like them too. That's why I do this. So don't be dismayed if you don't see anybody here. You're the first to show up on my channel. Please like and subscribe. So this is a Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine update for September 20th. Anytime that you hear this message, it's for you. There's no time limit on the message. This message is starting out, it's coming through this way. Ultimately, both Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine need to break out of molds. Character molds, okay? Character molds are molds that you've created for what you think is success in a person's character or related to a character in a person. This is how you need to this is what you need to focus on to bring things to a more balanced state, to find your equilibrium, is to break out of the molds. Divine Feminine, you need to probably break out of your mold as far as living your purpose, living your dreams, just completely busting out of the mold is recommended for you. It might be, it could be, if that speaks to you. Masculines need to stop placing their feminines and possibly even themselves or other people in molds that could be, one, impossible to fit, two, not even worth fitting into, three, again, as usual, the masculine's not being clear. He's not being clear about what he wants or desires. He's not being forthright about it. This is a character flaw. This is something he needs to break out of this. He needs to break the mold. The way that I heard it was, masculine, if your feminine doesn't fit your mold, it's because you haven't broken the mold. You need to break the mold in her world. That means showing up, being more than all of the others. Being something they cannot match up to. And this doesn't mean physically, this means spiritually. You need to be her number one fan, her number one confidant. You need to work through any issues that you might be carrying that are causing you to behave this way, or that triggers something in the feminine who's dealt with this from a lot of other masculines in her life. And if you're the feminine, that's part of the mold that you're going to break or be focused on breaking, is the way that you tend to think men are, that you may be projecting onto your masculine. And there needs to be more communication. So there's recommendations for this communication. I started to get some shamanic energy. I got some shaman messages for the twin flames. Focus on your totem animal helpers. Let your helpers and guides help you. Use your animal connection. Use your connection to nature through animals. I saw masculine giving his feminine a puppy. It's like when you first fall in love with someone and you have your ideas. A man has his ideas sometimes about how his wife or his female will be with children. He may want her to be more like his mother or less like his mother. One of those two things. More like his mother in some ways, maybe less like his mother in some ways. These are things that he's thinking about. He's taking things to the level of more and more serious. So he's thinking about in terms of how is she in her nurturing abilities. Can she nurture me? Can she nurture the children? Can she take care? Is she so scattered that she couldn't take care of a puppy? You know, and it's like he's bringing her a puppy to see if she can take care of it. That's what I was given a vision of. And it could be the feminine doubting herself and her mothering abilities and her nurturing abilities, reflecting back toward the masculine and vice versa. So these are the molds to break. These are the things to bring balance, is to get a handle on these things. Okay, so let's, with that, go into the reading. So it's not about insecurities so much. There is a promise of growth, and there's assistance for that growth. And then we have radiant grace. So you can gracefully move through these challenges and breaking these molds and breaking molds and bringing equilibrium through radiance and grace, and through feeling assurance, assuring yourself, feeling assured, finding assurance, knowing that there is abundance and growth on your path will offer assurance, finding that place within yourself. Be assured, feminine. Okay, there's doubts with the masculine energy and the feminine right now about the feminine's nurturing abilities. Okay, definitely. We have this on both cards. We have a child on both cards. This is about fitting the mold as a nurturing mother, as a nurturing feminine, and it's both. It's both the feminine feeling doubt, even to the point of, can I keep them safe? Can I keep something from happening? If it's a woman who maybe has like one child and she's going to be having more, she's thinking about, can she handle more? Can she love them both? Can she keep them both safe, or all three, or however the case is going to be? And the feminine is kind of reflecting this fear of her family life over to the masculine, and the masculine sees a weakness in that, and the way he's perceiving it is that she needs assurance. He could be thinking she needs assurance and trying to send messages assuring you that you will be fine as a mother, or Spirit's trying to send you messages that you'll be fine as a mother. And it could even be as extreme as, like I said, the masculine wondering if she fits the mold of the mother energy in his life. Is she a good catalyst for motherhood? Is she... And this might be reflecting back over and making her feel insecure if he's feeling doubts about that. He may have hesitated in the past because he wasn't sure about her character. Possibly her character as a mother, or because she's a mother. It has a lot to do with her being a mother and what he thinks a mother should be like. And that's reflecting over to the feminine. It's causing insecurity for her. That's what I'm getting here. He's actually projecting. He could be, possibly. Because see the birds here? And I've already gotten the message today about projecting fear over to the feminine. Please don't project fear over to your feminine. Vice versa, feminine, please don't project fear over to your masculine. If you're having insecurities about motherhood, it's just probably a natural process. If you are feeling like your masculine is projecting fear, you can use your angelic assistants, use those helpers that I talked about, your totems. If you want help with totem animals, guys, I do that. I help you discover your totem. And we go about doing that more natural path, shamanic type of work, which I tend to call synergy work because I'm also usually guiding you on crystals and other divine tools. But that's usually when I give shamanic advice. It's usually not in these standard Gaia readings. If you want shamanic work, I do some shamanic guidance. I don't go that deep on the shamanic journey other than the medicine woman stuff. I'm a medicine woman, so I can help you with natural path things and your totem animals. I've already jotted down my totem animals for my union because my union is progressing through a similar path. In our case, it's a little bit different than what I'm seeing in this reading. I'm seeing a younger couple, or possibly more than one younger couple, having fears about parenthood in general. It could just be fears of parenthood in general. Doubting yourself in any way right now is not good. You are, this is loving energy. This is beautiful energy. The baby's protected. You can see that with the Holy Cross. And the mother is holding that baby very close, keeping a very close... She's got both eyes on the baby. She's doing fine. It's almost like she's got both eyes on everything around her, but at the same time able to nurture the baby. I see this woman like having other children running around, but she's watching them. They're watched. If your insecurities are about if you'll be able to take care of your older children with your younger children, you'll be fine. Your motherly instincts will kick in. And you will have abilities and strengths that you didn't know that you had that come about because your conscious mind will catch up to you. If you're a pregnant woman, or you've just had a baby, or you're even thinking of having children and you already have children, and maybe you're even thinking about your masculine's children, maybe your masculine has children. I've seen some that might be in a blended family situation where they're step parents. I saw stepdad yesterday, but today it could be like a stepmom too. Or it could just be that today it's being projected out this way, but it's still about a masculine who's thinking of being a stepfather. And then if it is about a masculine who's thinking about being a stepfather, He's thinking about whether the children or any issues with the children will arise, how she'll handle that. Will she handle him being in charge and in control the way that he likes to be? Will she be okay in charge and control if he's away? Is she going to be dependent on him to be around all the time? Is she going to let him be a part of the children? Things like that. Things that he's seen other women do, or maybe he's experienced with other women. And so, same for the masculine. Please don't project that onto your feminine. Your divine feminine, and this is what you need to hear in this reading, for sure. I'm going to read the cards as what they mean, but I know that the feminine needs to know this right now because I'm a mom, and so I know. You are a divine feminine. There's nothing you can't conquer. You are a goddess. You were born for this. If anyone doubts you, even if it be you or your masculine, it's coming from a place of fear and doubt within them. It is not real. It is a habit and perpetual. It's a perpetual habit to worry. For the masculine, it's like he wants to be in charge of every aspect of the life. He's not leaving too much to the universe. Divine masculine, you need to understand that your divine feminine is a progressed, wise soul. She will not compare to other women in your life. She could remind you of women in your life and remind you of those connections to them, but she will never be to you what those women are. She will always be, she's the divine feminine. She's always going to be standing in her own energy, not really comparable to other women. She is a reflection of yourself. So look for more of how you would be, how you think you would be, and picture your feminine that way. Picture her strong, radiant, with grace, because that's how she truly is. If you're not able to see her that way, that's because you haven't raised your vibration enough to see that in her, and there hasn't been enough time or connection to see that. So just simply put the desire to know her on that level out to the universe. And if it's the feminine hearing this, go to your higher self and get with your higher self at that higher level so that you can see yourself for the radiant, graceful mother that you are, so that you don't have a distorted view of who you think you are or who you think you might be as a mother, okay? Same with the masculine, who you think she might be as a mother, or what you think mothering looks like, or even if it's like people around you. I get that it could be some people around you, what they think, especially if it's what they think. If it's what other people think and they're projecting that onto the masculine and then he's projecting that over to the feminine, or whatever the case may be. Even if it's the feminine having people around her that doubt her and her mothering abilities, or whether she'll be able to keep up with all of her children, whether that be the case, whatever the insecurities are about nurturing the children need to be let go. Give those over to your helpers and guides. Give those over to spirit. Put your desires out there to know each other on that higher level, or to connect with your higher self and guides, and let that unfold for itself. It will. The messages will come. The energies will come. There's prosperous energy and radiant energy for sure for the feminine. There's definitely growth still for the masculine. Lots of possibility of growth. So it looks good, but if you're experiencing these things I've mentioned, it will serve you greatly to pay attention to what are the animals and signs that are speaking to you right now. What is going on around you? Not too much about what people are saying, but what are you seeing and feeling and sensing? And are there animal totems or angelic signs or numbers popping up? Maybe start paying closer attention to those things and seeing and looking them up, or getting with a guide, or coming to someone and seeing what they mean for you. Seeing if you can identify what the message is, how you can gain strength from that totem, clarity, strength, the masculine's been looking for courage. So there's courage being sent, and you will find it through these signs and symbols, and through your helpers, your animal guides. You want to do this in a Christed way, of course. You want to not be calling out to spirit just in any way, shape, or form, but, be calling through natural, meditative, Christed, that would be Christed ways, You don't need to, you don't need to share everything about your spiritual life. For some of you, that may speak to you. You don't need to share everything about your spiritual life. If you are being given gifts of totems and signs and symbols, and you know that this relates to your sacred union, you can keep that sacred and masculine. You don't need to be necessarily talking to the people in your life about your feminine. You don't realize it, and feminine, if you're doing that, I don't get that you are. I get that the masculine might have been recently talking to some people about the feminine. Just natural talk, like guy on guy talk or something of that nature, or him talking to people just about the kind of woman he wants in his life, and maybe even thinking of you. He could have actually talked about you. Just make sure that, masculine, you're getting your information about your feminine from spirit, from your heart, directly from feminine, and not gathering too much information from people around you in general, period. Don't listen too much to what everyone has to say, especially if it's about your union. So this is also coming through as like protecting your union, using your helpers and tools and your guides and healing and your healing energies, and bringing that protection to the union so that things do grow, so that there is growth in stages, and the way that children grow in stages, there's rest cycles and the activity cycles. So we had a rest cycle. This could be more of an activity cycle, and that's why we're seeing the children. And today, this morning, the first message I got was, because I like to look at scripture first, and I was actually shown family. The father of the righteous will greatly rejoice, and he who begets a wise child will delight in him. And that's in Proverbs 23:24. And then through wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. Proverbs 24:3. Twin flames, whether you are together or separate, you are building a home together. You are in a space together, creating together, no matter if you're in a physical union or in a living in different addresses. And even if you find yourselves in different relationships or living with other people, you're twin flames when you know that you're destined on the soul path as spiritual partners like twin flames are. Just know that you are building together, creating together, and what you create is your house. And your dreams, wishes, and desires, of course, but that's how you're building your house. You're building. All your children shall be taught by the Lord, and great shall be the peace of your children. Isaiah 54:13. So they said, believe on Jesus Christ and you shall be saved, you and your household. Acts 16:31. But if anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he is denied the faith, and worse than a believer. Worse than an unbeliever. That's what it says in Timothy 5:8. So those are just some scriptures that are about family that are in this book. It says, you are the seed that decides the harvest around you. And I think that goes really well with this card right here. What are you, there's growth assured here. What are you growing? What are you manifesting? What's being manifested? Make sure you're not manifesting these expectations, these unreasonable expectations, in regards to parenthood on each other, okay? That's what I'm getting now, is just be careful you're not projecting on each other. There's a beautiful manifestation which you have long desired. It's coming to fruition now. It's important to the well-being of your own soul and the healing of our world that you have patience and allow this birth to happen at the best timing. Could be that the masculine wants to rush things. He's feeling rushed, or they both could be feeling rushed, wanting to rush. If it happens too soon or too late, there will be unnecessary complications. I will take care of the timing as you trust in me and find the birth of your dreams happens naturally and with great joy. So, masculines could be looking at the feminine and wanting to see results. I really get strongly like he's concerned about her intensity, or her, he's concerned about something in terms of timing. Could be concerned about a quick temper that the feminine has, or his own quick temper. It could be concerned about when things are going to come together. He could be also a little bit concerned about why they didn't come together before. What were the reasons before, and are those reasons still going to be present in the union now? It could be that he's threatened by the fact that she has children. Not threatened by it, but like threatening to the union that he won't be able to find the time to communicate with her due to both schedules, because of her having children, because of his job, which could be like his child. His achievements recently have been great. He's finally at a place where he wants to be. His growth is happening. Same for the feminine. And yeah, it's like both of them really focused on the things that they consider dear to them and wanting to make sure that all of that is just peachy keen. But the universe wants them to let go a little bit and is saying everything is peachy keen and you've done well. That's definitely been an energy message lately about all the work that the masculine and feminine have been doing. So, the descent of my grace changes everything. Your body, mind, and your soul are brought to life in new ways, and freedom opens up to you. Can you release your familiarity with an attachment to old ways of being? Can you release your expectation of enslavement and control? You are my child. When you place your trust in me, I allow no one to harm you, no thing to confine your spirit. You are free to live wildly and expansively. There shall be no prison for your soul, beloved of mine. Your soul shall be in love with earth and fly free. So, this being on the feminine side, that might be a part of the issue. She's free-spirited. This feminine is free-spirited, and this masculine is worried about that free-spiritedness in a way. And I get a masculine worrying or wondering if he can tame her, if motherhood will tame her. And if motherhood hasn't tamed her yet, then can I tame her? Can this be tamed together? This parenting thing. He could be more willing to tame the parenting together, but just a little bit worried about her free-spiritedness and her fiery ways, her radiance, the things that make her radiate. But he doesn't know the whole picture with her. And he needs to open to see the whole picture of the feminine. So he needs to open to his higher self, to his higher feminine self, to his relationship to mother. See the yellow roses around the mothers? This is definitely signaling to me about the relationship to the mother, his communication with mother. the way he perceives mother energy. That's the focus, okay? How he's perceiving it. He sees her as a radiant mother. It's not that he's doubting her as a mother. It could just be that he's at a place where this is how I feel about mother. This is what reminds me of her. This is what reminds me of my mother, my feminine, that's in my feminine, that I either am worried about or that I like, or both. But you shouldn't be worried about anything. The growth is assured. This is blossoming. It would be senseless to stop and worry, basically, is what this card looks like, because look how blossomed things are already. It's like, well, the harvest is already happening, so you can just thank the mother. Okay? That's kind of what I'm getting now. Just thank the mother, because you've already produced. It's already happened. There's already a child in your arms. You've already given birth. You've already birthed your dream, your desires. And maybe you want to think about how the feminine, or how your mother contributed to that. Maybe that's the focus, or that will help you focus, is counting your blessings in aspects of motherhood. Both of you could probably count your blessings in aspects of motherhood and shift this energy very quickly, letting your animal helpers in, especially if there's bird animal helpers or protective animal helpers. So that would be messages and protection. That'll help you, especially if your communication is through separation, and so you're communicating a lot spiritually, and or relying on other means of communication besides like face-to-face. If you're living together, you just might be focused a lot on children or the pets. If you have pets together, both focus a lot on the pets. So that's how this reading looks to me. That's the energies I'm getting. This is a twin flame, divine masculine, divine feminine update. So if you are soulmates, starseed, lightworkers, healers, twin flames, illumined twin flames, Blu-ray twin flames, then this message would apply most likely to you if it resonated. Now, it is an update for, like I said, September 20th, but this update can carry over for at least 5 to 10 days and possibly longer. Whenever you find this message, if it speaks to you, then it's for you. There's really no time limit on these messages. A lot of times I do gather information from the collective that's coming from another timeline or a future timeline. So if you're not experiencing this now, you may soon experience this, and then you may want to come back and listen to this. If you need guidance about spirituality in terms of your totem animals, crystals, spiritual tools of any kind, I have some goodies. I have some things that I do. I even do some numerology and palms. And that stuff can be very helpful for those on the Blu-ray twin flame. So I got an incense burning over here, and it's kind of irritating me. Those of you on the soul journey, on the higher path to manifestation, and to manifesting your union together, wherever you are in your union. Some of you are actually manifesting a life together and are more closely into physical union, and some of you are just not there yet and getting there, working through the stuff. I want to go ahead and pull one more card. I'm feeling like pulling one more card for this reading, just for some extra clarity. Like, is there cause for concern? What's up with the children and family message? You know, that kind of thing. Just a little clarity. Anything else that might be added through this oracle that would be helpful, that would speak to the divine feminine or masculine. Okay, so this is a repeat card today. I got this card earlier. Our Lady of the Rose Grown. I got this card earlier because I really got frustrated with my Facebook page. And I went on there to give a message because there's just a lot of people on my regular Facebook page. And I'm frustrated with how Facebook works sometimes. And then sometimes I'm frustrated with how people just kind of lurk. And they don't really communicate. That kind of thing. It just gets frustrating. And then it's like, okay, that's bad enough that people do that on social media. But then it's like the people that do communicate are people that mean you no good or lower level in some way. And when you're a light worker or healer, those people are always trying to pull you back down, pull you down, pull your energies back down, whether they mean to or not. It's kind of what it ends up being, is that that's what they're doing. And so I was frustrated, and I went in there and gave a message on my page, but I pulled like 4 cards. This was one of them. I will go ahead and read that right now and see what it gives us. It's Our Lady of the Rose Crown, and I might have said grown. I do that all the time. I'll read that card and I'll say grown instead of crown. And I don't know why. It's not even make a lot of sense for a title, but you are my child and a royal divine being. I protect your spiritual deepening now. As you descend further into the living divine heart and know all to be love as the mysteries reveal themselves to you now, divine rapture awaits you. I shall keep you grounded and authentic, productive in the world that needs your light, even as I guide you into ecstatic communion with your holy nature. So communing with nature, communing with your helpers and guides would be good. So if you can get out, get barefoot, get outside, this will be good for the masculine and good for the feminine. Getting outside, getting into nature, looking around you, breathing in the elements, and allowing the elements to speak to you. Getting in touch with this ebb and flow in the elements of life and not in the 3D of life. There's getting out of the world a bit. You've done a good job pretty much getting out of your head, but now you need to get out in nature. You need to include nature and your spirituality in that way. So look to nature for nurturing at this time. And the mothering issues that come up for some, there's a lot of masculines that kind of want to go into mental states of thinking, and they're talking very psychologically and stuff. And that's great, but the angels say get out of your head, so get into nature and get out of your head. Don't worry about mother. Don't worry about fixing your divine feminine. If you think that she needs fixed, that's preposterous too. Your divine feminine is, she's fine. She wouldn't be so connected to nature. She wouldn't be a divine feminine if she had all these motherly issues. Even though as twin flames we do go on a path where we have to heal a lot of stuff related to family and parenthood. A lot of times that's what twin flames are doing, that's how we're anchoring in, and that's how we've chose to grow. So I still think the masculine's thinking too much. Break the mold. Get out in nature. Same thing. It's just more or less just confirming, being very clear that nature will serve you best right now. Include that side of you, that spiritual side of you that's in touch with the moon cycles and the cosmos and the animals, especially animals. Big message about animals and children. Okay? Being around children would be helpful too, especially if you can be around children out in nature. And this could be that is what you are already doing. And that's where the feminine is at. And the masculine seeing her in nature and meeting her there in nature. that could be where there's more growth assured, is through nature in that way. Meditations where you both meet in nature, or if you actually do get to connect, have time together, make sure that you both are in a peaceful place. Maybe you're outdoors while you get to communicate with your masculine, be it telepathy, be it by phone, text, social media, whatever your means of communication is, or commune with nature. So it could be both. As much as you can include spirit and source and your masculine or feminine in what you're doing, the better. That's what, in my experience. So whether it be having a picture of them or thinking of them while you're meditating and in nature, allowing the totem animals to speak to you, because your feminine could see totem animals at this time and it could speak to her about how you're doing, and vice versa. And this could send energy to the other person, and that could be a form of communication between you. Your animal helpers can help you with telepathic communication. See, your angels and your animal helper guides. And just being around children and animals can ground you. And Gaia is offering you that kind of grounding right now. She will meet you there in nature through the liveliness of nature. Through that sort of energy. So if you say were someone who liked to be around horses, this would be a good time to be around horses. Do that. Gaia will meet you there. Grounding will be there for you. If you're a person that likes to be around kids, focus a lot on the kids. Spend a lot of time with the kids. This will give you the most grounding and bring the most balance to your union, and allow each other to see each other in those lights, in those energies, in that happy places, in those happy places, and in your happy place. So I hope that spoke to you. I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm doing a lot of repeating and so I don't have much more to add to the reading. I know I'm done when I'm doing that. Sometimes that's what it means. If you need a personal reading, or you want any other of the things that I mentioned that I offer, just hit me up, carlah4040@gmail.com. Details will be below this video to give you more information. Look below the video. And I accept PayPal. And I'm also on Hangouts for certain people if you need to connect with me. All right, I love you, and come back and see me. Bye.